Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. I am Preeti Chaudhary. Under immense heat from the CBI, possibly an impending arrest as well, where the Deputy CM of Delhi, Manish Sisodia, is concerned, today accompanying the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on their campaign in Gujarat, made an explosive claim. He alleged Operation Lotus, meaning that he was actually called by somebody very high up in the Bharatiya Janata Party, asking him to jump ship to the BJP, and if he does so, he'd be made the Chief Minister of Delhi and all possible cases against him will go cold. The BJP on the other account has said, wishful thinking, you're imagining this. What's the truth behind it all? Well, till now, there's only been charges and counter-charges. Under CBI fire, an all-out blistering BJP attack.
अब इनका अगला आ गया है MONEY, money.
And a possible looming arrest.
दिसंबर तक चुनाव हो जाएगा गुजरात का। गुजरात में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की जमीन खिसक रही है। अभी मनीष भी गिरफ्तार होंगे और भी कई हो सकता है, मेरे को भी करने, क्या करेंगे क्या नहीं करेंगे, कुछ भी करेंगे।
The Delhi's Deputy CM Manish Sisodia has made an explosive claim, first tweeting out that the BJP had offered to shut all cases against him if he quit the Aam Aadmi Party and crossed over to the BJP. Then, while accompanying Arvind Kejriwal in Gujarat on the election trail, he detailed his claim in a press conference in Ahmedabad.
मेरे पास मैसेज आया कि दो मैसेज थे, दो पार्ट थे उस मैसेज के, कि एक तो आपके खिलाफ जितने ईडी के सीबीआई के केस चल रहे हैं, इनको सबको खत्म कर दिया जाएगा। बीजेपी ज्वाइन करके, पार्टी तोड़ के बीजेपी ज्वाइन कर लीजिए और हम आपको सीएम बना देंगे, क्योंकि हमारे पास में कोई सीएम कैंडिडेट नहीं है। जिन्होंने मुझे मैसेज दिया, उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि वेस्ट बंगाल में शुभेंदु अधिकारी जी को हमने ही ज्वाइन कराया था।
With that, Manish Sisodia pledged allegiance to whom he called his political guru, who in turn tweeted out, Operation Lotus had failed in Delhi.
इन लोगों के पास पूरी ताकत है, इनके पास सीबीआई है, इनके पास ईडी है, इनके पास इनकम टैक्स है, इनके पास पुलिस है, इनके पास सारी इतना पैसा है इन लोगों के पास।
The BJP was quick to dismiss the claim and slam the Aam Aadmi Party, calling the claims preposterous and a figment of the Deputy CM's imagination.
ये जितना बौखलाहट है, ये सब यही बताता है कि मनीष सिसोदिया भ्रष्टाचार के लंबे और बड़े दलदल में घुस चुके हैं। एजेंसीज को ये सारे का साक्ष्य मिल चुका है, ऐसा लगता है।
सीआई हुए अरविंद केजरीवाल जी और एक्यूज्ड नंबर 1 मनीष सिसोदिया कहने लगे कि मेरे पास एक संदेश आया है भाजपा का। मैं इतना ही कहूंगा, जिनकी नीयत खोटी है, सोच छोटी है, उनको कोई क्या तोड़ेगा।
While the Delhi top brass campaigned in Gujarat, back home massive protests took place outside Kejriwal's residence. BJP Delhi Party Chief Adesh Gupta and BJP MP Dr. Harshvardhan Singh sat on a dharna outside his residence. The Congress too continued to bolster their attack on the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi and in Gujarat. The battle lines have been drawn. It is an all-out political war. And if there is an arrest by the CBI, more political blood will be spilled. Bureau Report, India Today. Well, the fact is, viewers, is there an attempt to now possibly change the narrative from the CBI possible impending arrest of Manish Sisodia to charges of poaching, Operation Lotus. Let's cut across right now to Gautam Gambhir. He's the BJP MP from Delhi. He's joining us live. Appreciate you taking the time out, Mr. Gambhir. My first question stems from the massive claim. You might call it claim, but in essence, it's huge when Manish Sisodia said that he was called by a very senior leader from the Bharatiya Janata Party asking him to jump ship to the BJP, and all cases will not just be dropped, that he'd be elevated to the position of Chief Minister Delhi.
Do you buy into this argument? Do I buy into this argument? Do you think the people of Delhi will buy into this argument? It's a shame how much panic can be created and what all people say when they get panicked and when they get absolutely exposed. Someone who's won his elections by 1100 votes, all I want to say is in 2025, hope he's going to fight from the same Vidhan Sabha, and I'm sure he's not going to run. It is a, what do I say? I don't even want to say anything about them because it's ridiculous that someone is saying that he's been offered to become the CM of Delhi and BJP is trying to break Aam Aadmi Party. How much someone can get panicked when he gets exposed, it is right in front of you. And I hope you guys will try and create this narrative by saying that what all he's talking is absolutely ridiculous.
No, it's not about us creating any narrative, Mr. Gambhir, but the question is, it's a question that you can raise. Are you now on the show and to the point challenging the Aam Aadmi Party, challenging the Deputy CM to prove that he was in fact approached by your party, if at all he was, to show proof of that? Is that a challenge you're going to throw to him?
100%. Go ahead and do it. But make sure you don't do it through the news channels and you don't do it through the advertisement, like what you've been doing in the last 7 years. I hope you have the right figures, you have the right proof, and we'll be absolutely ready to accept that if there's a concrete proof, because I have experienced it myself during my own election campaign. Like they had that proof against me that I had distributed those pamphlets and nothing happened after that. Someone who can't respect her own MLA or her own party leader, how can you expect this man, especially this megalomaniac, to have any such kind of a proof, who hasn't opened a single school, college, hospital in Delhi, and he talks about BJP trying to break his party. He's not become this big that we need to get into that shady politics, what he's been doing in the last 7 years.
Mr. Gambhir, I take it as you challenging, like you said, 100% challenge thrown, prove that the BJP approached you, or don't talk. Is that what you're saying? What the Aam Aadmi Party is saying, let's talk about that. Mr. Gambhir, the Aam Aadmi Party says that, listen, you're spooked. 2024 is going to be a battle between Arvind Kejriwal and Narendra Modi. That's what's spooking you, is what the Aam Aadmi Party says.
That is not his. You guys are trying to create this narrative. They're only trying to divert from the main issue. Without having a single Lok Sabha MP, he's trying to create that narrative through you people. His MLAs will do that because they know that they're getting exposed. They have to divert this at any cost, and they will keep doing that. But do you buy this argument once again that it's going to be someone who doesn't have a single Lok Sabha MP against the PM and against Bharatiya Janata Party, who's got more than 300 MPs in Lok Sabha? Do you buy that? Do the people of India buy that? Do the people of Delhi buy that? Tell me. No school, college, hospital, no MP in Lok Sabha, and you start dreaming about becoming the Prime Minister. And at the same time, BJP trying to break your Deputy CM, who's on the verge of going to jail, and who himself was able to win by only 1100 votes. Again, I want to repeat that. In 2025, if Arvind Kejriwal's deputy has the courage to fight from the same Vidhan Sabha, he should do it. Don't run away from that.
Okay. Well, okay, Mr. Gambhir, you know that it's not for me or anybody else to buy that narrative. It is for the people of India to buy that narrative. If they do so, it's up to them. But you're also throwing a challenge to Manish Sisodia, and you're right there. He only won by the skin of his teeth of his constituency in Mayur Vihar. It was the last, constituency or the last seat that the Aam Aadmi Party won. But having said that, like you said, there's rhetoric coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party. There's a lot coming in from the BJP as well. Is there one question, Mr. Gambhir, that you want to ask Manish Sisodia, which will nail his culpability in the liquor scam? What is that one question that the BJP asks other than any rhetoric?
I just want to ask one simple question. Why did they took back the excise policy? Why? That is one simple question which needs to be answered by so-called the most honest CM who's done nothing for the last 7 years. Why did he do that? As simple as come out and open and answer that question.
It's a question that, India Today asked Arvind Kejriwal at the press conference today, that why is it that the liquor policy was rolled back if there was no culpability or, if there wasn't any wrongdoing. To which Mr. Gambhir, Arvind Kejriwal today in Ahmedabad, the Chief Minister of Delhi, said that, listen, it had been 1 full year. The new policy had to be renewed. There was an investigation which was going on. No officer wanted to sign on the dotted line, which would have meant that the markets in Delhi would have been flooded by illicit liquor. But we will revert back to the policy that they wanted. This is what Mr. Kejriwal said today.
The fact is, because they were completely getting exposed, the fact was that they were scared that they're going to get absolutely exposed and probably it will eventually finish on the CM. That is the reason. Now they're only trying to divert all those issues, which they are very good in doing it. Probably we guys are not as good as those people are in doing that. But I'm sure the country is watching this, people of Delhi are watching this, and people of Delhi will ask him this question, that in last 7, 8, 9 years, whenever he'll finish his next tenure, that what has he done for the people of Delhi and how many school, colleges, hospitals, which he never comes out and answer. Not even a single school. And he's talking about becoming a PM, not even a single hospital. Look what happened in the second wave during the COVID in Delhi. Where was his Mohalla clinic? Talk about that, talk about development, not even a single flyover except one, that Signature Tower. Not even a single new bus, no flyovers. Have you seen Delhi being this tired and what it has been in the last 7 years? No one ends up asking that question. If we ask this question and if we are wrong in asking this question, you guys will expose us tomorrow morning. But why aren't you people exposing him by asking him this question? So where are the schools which Delhi need? Where are the colleges? It's not about you and me now. It's not about Aam Aadmi Party and BJP anymore. It's about our generation and the next generation. It's about saving Delhi. Otherwise, if it continues to go this way, we will not be able to live in next 10 years in Delhi. Delhi has become the most polluted city in the world. Why do you not ask this question to the CM of Delhi? Where is Yamuna? How clean is Yamuna? Where is that clean water? Where is that clean air? Where is Delhi become London, Paris and New York? Where are those oxygen cylinders which he had promised to give it to everyone? Where are all these things? And you talk about, he keeps diverting issues and we keep creating that narrative. It's a shame. It's a betrayal to the people of Delhi. And it's high time that all of us come together and save this city. Because if Delhi is saved, then only this country will be saved. It's our collective responsibility towards the people of Delhi and towards the people of this nation.
Mr. Gambhir, thank you for taking out the time and joining us. Gautam Gambhir, MP, BJP, Delhi. Once again, making one point very clear, that if there is proof that the Aam Aadmi Party has of the culpability of the BJP trying to bring down the Delhi government, then it needs to furbish that proof. It's a challenge that he's thrown on my show this evening. I want to cut across right now for our face-off coming in from the Bharatiya Janata Party. I have Sardar R.P. Singh, National Spokesperson, and Jasmine Shah, Spokesperson, Aam Aadmi Party. Mr. Shah, the question is plausible. Once again, there's a charge that you've been associated with earlier, which is that the Delhi Chief Minister shoots in schools. You've made a very, very big charge, sir. It's grave in all its nature when the Deputy CM says that there was an attempt to topple the Delhi government, where he was asked, jump ship to the BJP and all charges will be dropped. Not just that, you'll be made CM. Is there proof to support this massive claim?
Maybe I'll tell you why, this statement is perfectly true as well as plausible. There is nothing new about BJP trying to do something like this. 1 year back, if somebody had said that BJP will get Mr. Eknath Shinde over from Shiv Sena and try and form a government, a breakaway government, nobody would have believed. We saw what happened in Maharashtra last month. 2 years back, if somebody had said that overnight Mr. Ajit Pawar would change sides and at 5 AM in the morning BJP will try to form a government in Maharashtra, people may have questioned. But we saw that BJP is capable of doing that. Not just that, leaders after leaders of the opposition, tall leaders, Suvendru Adhikari, Hemant Biswa Sarma, Mukul Roy, Narayan Rane, these are tall leaders from opposition, all of who were raided by CBI and ED. BJP acted as their lifeline, a washing machine party, offered them to jump ship. They decided to jump ship. And what do you see? Presto, all charges dropped, no investigation from CBI or ED. So it is perfectly possible and believable by the people of the country today that Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal, who today stand as the only opposition to Narendra Modi in 2024, this is Operation Lotus of a scale that has not been seen before. They were trying to break the party and they have been exposed, and that is why they are running around asking for this, that, this, that.
But no, Jasmine Shah, the fact is politics, politics is a world of possibilities. Everything that you said ultimately held true. But the fact is you have to support any claim that you're making by proof. If you're making a claim, what's the proof that it happened? That is what the BJP is saying. Prove it, they're saying. They challenge you to prove it.
Question, no, the statement of the CM and the Deputy CM, the people of the country need to decide whether they believe in the statement of Shri Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia, or they believe the statement of all the BJP karyakartas and leaders who are saying कि एक भी स्कूल नहीं बनाया, एक भी अस्पताल नहीं बनाया, न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स की स्टोरी फैब्रिकेटेड है, टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया की स्टोरी फैब्रिकेटेड है. So let the people of this country, Preeti, decide what is true and what is not. Today, the education model of Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia has made the country proud. I think all of us can take pride in that. Only if you are a BJP leader like Gautam Gambhir, who lives in Delhi, who knows that schools of Delhi government have completely been transformed, but they still act blind and they would still go around, putting a black name on a story which today the entire country is learning from. So I think let the people of the country decide. Today a big Operation Lotus has been called out, and that is why BJP is running around scared.
Misha, as I bring in RP Singh, I'll ask you this one question again. You said it's for the people of India to decide. Is there proof which will be furbished when the time comes, if the time comes, that the Aam Aadmi Party has of possible poaching attempts by the BJP?
Absolutely. I think in due course, let's see how the reaction, because I think what we are hearing is BJP is still trying by hook or by crook to try and break the Aam Aadmi Party. They will soon realize that this is not a party that you can touch just like you have been doing Congress and all other opposition parties. This is going to be their nemesis in the years to come. And as much as you try and stop our work in health and education, we will only be emboldened and strengthened by the fact. And people of the country are seeing today that, enough is enough. You have a constitutional framework. You cannot go after opposition leaders just because you do not like them.
All right. Sardar RP Singh, it's a big charge that the Aam Aadmi Party has made. Somewhere down the line, you do run the risk of changing the narrative with what is going on right now, which is the CBI heat on Manish Sisodia, the Delhi's liquor policy. But a charge like that can attempt to destabilize that's going on.
Preeti, I hope I won't be interrupted, and I will be given a good time to speak now, like my friend from the Aam Aadmi Party. I have a disclosure to make today. I have been approached by someone from Mr. Saurabh Bhardwaj's office saying that please help us to ensure that Mr. Sisodia goes to jail because he is eyeing for the Deputy Chief Minister post. He has approached us today. So, I'll give you the proof when the times come. It's just a matter of time. I'll also give the proof. And I have better proof than what they are claiming. Just the audio tape they are claiming. I have a better proof than that. Probably a video recording of a person who came to my office. So that's point aside. Let them come to the school and everything else. I was just going through, I have the complete set of RTIs with me. There's a complete set of RTIs. I will send it to you after the debate. In Delhi, there are more than 130, there are almost 130 schools, out of which 745 schools don't have principals, 516 schools don't have vice principals. There are temporary teachers, 834 temporary teachers, and 700 plus schools don't have the science as subject. Every year, 1 lakh children drop out from the 9th standard, and 16 schools has closed in last 7 years. They claim they will make some 500 schools. Coming to other thing, Mr. Manish Sisodia children and Mr. Kejriwal children, son, both studied in which school? Can they tell us that? Which government school they went to? Or they went to Amity and some other school in UP? Thirdly, Mr. Manish Sisodia was not well, or Mr. Sindar Jain whenever he was not well, or Mr. Kejriwal whenever he was not well. Which hospital they go to? Which government hospital they go to? They all went to private hospitals, Max, Fortis, many more like that. And there are documents, and again, there are RTIs on record for that also. So this is the model which they claim. Now coming to the issue of that poaching. Yesterday it was that, there is lookout notice. Who posted that tweet? 9:15 Mr. Sisodia. 4:30 Atishi holds a press conference. No, there's no lookout notice. It was all falsehood.
The entire media was covering the
Manish, I'll come to you. Mr. Shah, I'll come to you. Let him finish. Yes, sir, make your point. Make your point.
Please,
yes. Make your point.
That's the request. So all to deflect people's attention from the issue of these two documents which I have, and I'm giving it a challenge. Again, these are the government documents. These are not my document. Signed by some Narinder Singh, who is the Assistant Commissioner Excise. He said he has issued a show cause notice to company name. Here is the detail. Sorry, here is the company name Enrich Corporate, which he talks that you are part of a cartel. Why your licenses should not be cancelled? The licenses were still on till the inquiry happened. Then another company, the show cause notice was issued to Indosplit Private Limited for that it was a blacklisted company by the same gentleman. This was 25th October 2021, and no action was taken. Give me a second, Preeti.
I'm coming to you. Mr. Shah, right after that.
No action was taken.
Okay.
And also,
I'm coming to you. Justice Shah, I'll come to you. Let him finish. We have enough time.
No, all of these are slanderous allegations, and
I will come to you, sir. I will, Mr. Shah, I promise I'm coming to you right after.
Give me a second. Why are you?
Yeah, Mr. RP Singh, make your point, sir.
144.36 crore which was returned. 144.36 crore which was returned on name of Corona. The policy started on 17th November. Tell me, when was the Corona after 17th November 2021? There was no Corona after 17th November 2021. But yes, under the pretext of Corona, the money was returned. 30 crore was given back to L1 company of the earnest money. Who allowed it? So when that flag was raised by the Chief Secretary on 8th of August, they went for a cabinet meeting on 14th of August for a post facto approval of all what was done. So this clearly shows that it's a scam, and it's matter of time. Everything will come under.
Okay. Mr. RP Singh, I hope you've been given enough.
And everyone will come to know what all details.
Okay, Mr. RP Singh, you have.
Last but not the least.
Yes.
Last but not the least. There are people within Aam Aadmi Party who are eyeing for the Deputy Chief Minister post.
You made that point right in the beginning, sir. Okay. Jasmine Shah, your claim versus RP Singh's claim, what's the difference?
No, it is not my claim. It is the claim of Honorable CM of Delhi, which today the people around the country see as a ray of hope. The only person today, mind you, who's talking about schools, about health, about berozgari, about महंगाई. What is Prime Minister Modi waking up every day and doing? जिसके यहाँ CBI भेजनी, ED भेजनी, कैबिनेट को बुलाओ, opposition leader को target करो. So, there are two very contrasting visions of leadership that the country has. I would like to ask Mr. RP Singh only one thing. All these things, like you have said, you are sounding like now as a stuck tape recorder, because these are the same things you've been saying for 2 months. Every time we have clarified how baseless and empty and ridiculous these allegations are. आप मुझे बस एक सवाल का जवाब बता दीजिए. Mukul Roy, Hemant Biswas Sharma, Suvendu Adhikari.
One by one, sir. You were never interrupted.
There was a scam. The scams were already proven. Sharada scam, Narada scam, water supply scam in Assam, which even foreign countries have taken note of. ये सारे scam तो proven हैं. इनका नाम पे allegations भी है, CBI ED raid भी मार चुकी है. Just give me simple answer to the people of this nation. Why are they absconding from justice? Why are they today in BJP and absolutely no inquiries happening against them? बस इतना हमें समझा दीजिए, हम समझ जाएंगे.
RP Singh, he's raised a question. Please answer.
सचिंदर जैन साहब जेल में हैं 3 महीने से. आपने पूरी कोशिश कर ली, हर कोर्ट का दरवाजा खटखटाने.
Sir, one by one, let him answer. You asked a question.
अरे सर सुनिए ना, वो
RP Singh, go ahead, answer.
सचिंदर जैन साहब जेल में हैं. आपने हर कोर्ट में जाकर कोशिश कर ली, कि वो जो पैसा रूट किया था कोलकाता की कंपनी के थ्रू, वो पकड़ा गया, और उसके थ्रू जो यहाँ माध्यम से जो जमीनें खरीदी थी वो सब.
Sir, there's a huge list. Okay. RP Singh, sir, there's a huge list. There's a huge list if you talk about certain leaders which possibly entered the Bharatiya Janata Party, and there are cases as well, sir, which suddenly went cold. But
Khandu, Reddy brothers, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Narayan Rane, YS Chaudhary, CM Ramesh, Vijay Jain, मैं लिस्ट बताते जाऊं, शाम हो जाएगी. ये सारे washing machine leaders आपकी पार्टी में आए.
Okay.
Only one person to speak.
No, sir. Okay. The fact is, we had, earlier on, we had Gautam Gambhir, who was from the Bharatiya Janata Party. So it's 2:1. I'll give you 10 seconds, Mr. RP Singh. Quickly wrap up your argument, and I will go over to Jasmine Shah.
Very straight. whatever is happening because of the Chief Secretary's red flag. They wanted to push through things, all their stamps through the Chief Secretary, which he said he won't sign the documents, and after that they went for a post facto approval. And if you have anything which is relevant to our party, please go to court, get a court order.
Go to court. Jasmine Shah, go ahead. Can I just get Jasmine Shah closing? Go ahead.
Sanjay Jain goes, you
can I just get Jasmine Shah, sir?
Your appeals were rejected.
Sir, today you've got more time. Let him come in. Yes, Mr. Shah, go ahead.
The verdict is going to be made by the court of the people. Today, the entire country is saying that you have no answer. By leaders after leaders in states after states, the most tainted leaders. The moment they joined BJP, CBI and ED do not investigate them. You had no clarification for any of these names. Rather than that, today in 2022, where the country is going through an economic crisis, lakhs of crores of loans have been waived off. Aate, dal, chini pe aapne GST dal diya. You are doing nothing, absolutely no vision, no policy to address.
Name any one loan which has been waived off.
May I, with the permission of both you gentlemen, bow out of this debate. Appreciate both of you for joining us. And one thing is for sure, in the days to come, you're going to only see the rhetoric get louder. Charges, counter charges. Will we see proof? Time will tell. Ultimately, it's going to be in the court of the people. And there is one court which is going to be held very quickly in the state of Gujarat. That's 2 months from now. Aam Aadmi Party has entered it as a contender to the Bharatiya Janata Party.